When I was a kid, I used to go to Dave & Buster's a lot with my family, and instead of spending my points on small things like candy, I would save my points up, and I would buy video games. Games were like 50,000 points, so it would take me a couple of trips to get enough to buy a new game. I was really good at the Wheel of Fortune game where you would like stop the light on the little thing and it would spin and whatever. And I got a lot of really good games doing this. I got like Need for Speed. I remember getting Call of Duty 3 this way. It was a little side hustle for me to get new games. Well, one time I was there, I had enough points to get a new game, and I had just recently gotten a PSP. So I'm looking through the PSP games and I see a Scarface game. Now mind you, I had seen one of my buddies playing the Scarface game on his PS2. And I knew that PSP games were often different than their PS2 counterpart. So I asked the guy working, who was kind of like a teenager and he seemed like he was a gamer. So I asked the guy, I'm like, do you know if this Scarface game is like the PS2 game? What I was specifically looking for was if I could walk around the open world and like steal cars and just like, wreak havoc on the city like a GTA game. Because this was before GTA was on the PSP. And I asked this specifically because I saw my friend doing these things on the PS2 version. So I asked the guy and he says, yes, absolutely. I've played this and it's just like the PS2 game. You can walk around, you can do all that stuff. It's awesome. So I'm like, sick. Give me that. Here's my 50,000 points. Give me Scarface for the PSP. I get that game home and I'm very confused because it's just like a map that I can click on and like assign resources. Like I can put my troops over here and I can have drugs go that way. In my little kid brain, I'm like, all right, how do I get past all this menu stuff and get into the game? Like get into the good part. Like I want to walk around and do hood rat shit in the city. When I say for months, I was convinced that I was just doing something wrong. I just had to get to the right menu so I can get into the open world. I spent so much time playing this game trying to like play the game I thought it was. Eventually I just gave up and I thought it was a me problem. I thought I was doing something wrong. Until years later, I reflect back upon the experience. And Scarface for PSP was just a strategy game. It was a strategy game where you assigned your resources, you had some of your thugs sell some drugs here, you try to control territories, and that's all it was. The guy lied to me. The Dave & Buster's guy lied to me. I will never forgive that man.